Hello children, today I'll be taking up class 8th English. Topic name is the Hornbill Festival. Okay. Hornbill is a bird, okay, a beautiful bird which very much appears like this. Okay, it has a long beak and you can see like this a cap it is wearing. It is wearing a cap like structure on its beak, hood. Okay, a hood like structure. And so this bird with a long beak and wearing a headgear, it is known as hornbill. Okay, and festivals, you know that the various festival celebrations which we celebrate in our country. Before getting into this chapter, children, I would like to speak something on diversity of culture, tribe, various religion in India. See, in India, we have a huge diversity of people living in. Okay, people belonging from various culture, people belonging from various religion, they tribes, they all live under one pan India. Pan India means that one single nation, one single nation, one single country contains or accommodates people from various religion, people from various caste, tribe. So in India, you can find a huge variety of languages, a huge variety of culture, different varieties of food, different types of styling, different types of clothes, different types of houses, lifestyle, language. So you can see that in India, under one roof, under one umbrella, so many people belonging from different caste, religion, language, culture, they all stay there, okay, under one single roof. So you can see that India is such a diversified country. Okay, so through this chapter, we are going to see the cultural representation of India and diversity within it, the different types of people, culture living in it. And in particular, we are going to talk about Naga tribe and its culture. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. Okay, so let's start. The Hornbill Festival is the most anticipated, expected, okay, cultural carnival. Carnival is festival of Nagaland. Okay, located in the northeast India. Nagaland is a very beautifully and ethnically means where people from different race, culture, they live there. Diverse state with all the major tribes from the state participating in the festivities, of in the festivities. Okay, and Hornbill is the best way of catching a glimpse of Naga life. So here it's being said that Hornbill is the festival which is most expected, hopefully is a huge carnival festival, okay, of Nagaland. And where Nagaland is located? It is located in the northeastern part of India. Nagaland is a very beautiful country, is a very beautiful state. Sorry, not country. It's a beautiful state, and you can find here ethnically. You can find different tribes within Nagaland only. You can find different tribes staying there. Okay, and all tribes are quite different from each other. Okay, one state you have different tribes. Okay, so you can see the cultural diversity, you can see the cultural variation which you find in Nagaland. Okay, and with all the major tribes from state, and in this they celebrate a important festival known as Hornbill Festival. Okay, in which different tribes of Nagaland, they all participate it, and it gives a huge, a very beautiful picture of Naga life. The festival is named after the Indian hornbill. The colorful wild bird is a significant part of the folklore of most Naga tribes. The hornbill is often displayed on the traditional tribal headgears worn during Naga festivities. So this festival is named after the Indian hornbill. Hornbill, as I have just, you can see here, this colorful bird. Okay, this bird, just a beautiful big beak it is having, and it is wearing a headgear sort of thing on its head. You can see this. And this on this colorful bird, they have named their festival Hornbill Festival. These Hornbill festivals is often displayed on the traditional, the Hornbill Festival is often displayed on the traditional tribal headgears worn during Naga festivals. So these Hornbill, what they do, that you can see a picture here. See, like these type of headgears they wear. Okay, and they either they fix some hornbill feathers or beautiful bamboo decorations on their head. Okay, and they feel very proud about it. Okay, over the years, the festival has evolved from being just a Naga event into the biggest celebrations of the camaraderie between the seven sister states of Northeast. Initially, it was celebrated as a very small regional celebration, but with the passage of time, people have started this event. People have taken this event on large scale. Okay, they have taken it to a large platform where it is just like a very huge festival. It's like a carnival that people from all over world, they come to this part, or participate in this Hornbill Festival to see the glimpse of Naga life. Okay, and it all celebration of the camaraderie. Camaraderie means a feeling of brotherhood. Okay, a camaraderie, but this festival they celebrate to show the feel of brotherhood which exists among the seven sisters of the Northeast. It means seven sisters means the seven states of Northeast. Okay, so these are the seven sister states of Northeast: Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and Manipur. So these are known as seven sisters. Cultural troops from across the region participate during the week-long celebration. So cultural troops means all different cultural tribes, they come and participate in this week-long celebration. It is also known as the Festival of Festivals. This is known as the King of Festivals. Hornbill Festival is a great time to experience the cultural diversity of not just Nagaland but the entire Northeast. So so this Hornbill Festival, okay, it is known as the King of the Festivals, and in this festival you can not only see the cultural diversity of not just the Nagaland, okay, but the whole Northeast, because all the seven sisters, and within those seven sisters, the various diverse cultural tribal people, they participate here to show their own culture and tradition. The festival is held in the first week of December every year. When is this festival held? First week of December every year. The main venue of the festival is the Naga Heritage Village in Kasama. And where is the main center of this celebration place? It is the Heritage Village in Kasama. And it is located about 12 kilometers from Kohima. It's showing the distance, the capital of Nagaland. The prime attraction of the Heritage Village is the cluster of 16 tribal houses. So the prime attraction is a cluster. In a line, you can see the Naga houses. Okay, architectural villages, you can see. Heritage Village is a cluster of 16 tribal houses. So you can see that in Nagaland, there are 16 tribal houses. Each tribe representing their own cultural or architectural plans or build-ups. Each house is constructed under the indigenous means different, architectural concepts of a specific Naga tribe. And each house, among those 16 tribes, each house is built according to its own tribal traditional architect. It also contains the replica of a morong. Morong is a youth dormitory, which forms an integral part of the Naga way of living. There are 16 officially recognized Naga tribes. So how many Naga tribes are there? There are officially 16 recognized Naga tribes. They are different and unique in their customs and tradition. And all 16 Naga tribes are quite different in their culture and tradition. These customs and traditions are further translated into festivals. And you see that these tradition, cultures are translated, okay, are shown, are represented through these festivals. Songs and dances form the soul of these festivals through which their oral history is passed on to the younger generations. So here is saying that the song and dance is the soul, it is the heart of these Naga festival, and the oral history, the oral folk tales, folklores, which is being spoken out, which is being represented through these dance songs, it represents a part of, it represents as a oral history. Okay, oral history means the history which is spoken through mouth, and it is passed on through younger generation by wise, it is passed on. And what is the medium? Through these folk songs and dances, they pass on their cultural history and to the younger generations or the coming generations. Each tribal community of Nagaland can be distinguished by the colorful and intricate costumes and jewelry that its members wear. And each tribe has their own costume and jewelry. And they can be identified that this is from this tribe, this is from this tribe. The traditional attire of each tribe is unique, and each tribe is having a unique traditional attire, means clothing. Nagas also take immense pride in their headgears. So these people, they take immense pride in their headgears. Headgears are what? They are these type of helmets sort of, which they wear, and they feel very proud about it, which are usually woven with fine bamboo and decorated with wild orchids or hornbill feathers. So these type of headgears, they feel very proud of it, and it is a mandatory for them to wear during the Naga festival or any of their tribal festivals. Okay? And they decorate it with bamboos, colorful orchid flowers, and also with the hornbill feathers. Some tribes also use the teeth of wild animals to further decorate them. Some tribes, they use teeth of the wild animals to decorate them. The attire and headgear are traditionally considered a display of the wearer's valor. And through these costume, through these headgears, okay, they represent the valor of those Naga tribe and Naga people. Valor means their bravery. The Kisama Heritage Village, the Kisama Heritage Village displays all the indigenous different traditions and handicrafts of Nagaland in great detail. Okay, so this heritage village, now they display all cultural heritage of the Naga tribes. The bamboo pavilion is the major highlight, and bamboo pavilion is the major highlight of this festival. The highlight of the Hornbill Festival. The Naga people are known for their impeccable craftsmanship, impeccable without any mistake. Craftsmanship from jewelry to houses. Naga people can build almost anything with bamboo. So they build each and everything with the help of these bamboo. The pavilion has the finest display of bamboo handicrafts from the state, making it a center of attraction. Bamboo products are very famous in Northeast, okay, and it's in huge demand. These Naga people, they don't use all these plastic, glasses, everything. So basically their everything is made up from bamboos, and furniture, anything, and common people also use it. Nagas are generally admired for their rich tradition of folk dance and music. Naga people, they are very much admired for their traditional folk dance and music. Despite the advent of Western culture, influences, and modern ways of living, Nagas have not given up their traditional art forms. Despite too much of modernization and all, but these Naga people, they have not they have not left behind their cultural traditions. The vibrant local dances and songs praising the bravado of ancient warriors, tragic love songs, gospel songs, and folk tunes form an inseparable part of all Naga festivals. So you can see that these Naga songs and dances all have speaks about the brave deeds of all ancient heroes, tragic love songs of their lovers, and all the Christian gospels and all is being presented through their folk tunes, folk songs, which is not inseparable from the Naga, which forms an inseparable part of the Naga festivals. The major ethnic groups in Nagaland are usually hunting tribes. So basically these tribes, they are hunting tribes. As a result, Naga dances are often repellent, filled with war cries and grand jumps, which makes the dance athletic and martial. So you can see that these Naga people, they are basically a warrior groups or hunting groups. Okay, so their dance, their moves, all are quite athletic and martial. War cries by performances are common feature of these dances, and while performing these dances, a lot of martial moves, a lot of warrior moves are seen, and the cries, they take out loud voices. So these are all the features of Naga dances. Music is a big role in the festivities of Northeast in general. Performers from across the region showcase their distinct dance and folk music during the Hornbill Festival. And during this festival, people from all the tribes, they come and present their different different variety of songs which is famous in their tribe. The Hornbill Festival is not just about reliving the glorious past, but it is also a celebration of the present. So it's saying that in the Hornbill Festival, it's not that we are just reliving the past. We are not only translating or representing our past culture, tradition, folk song, folk culture, everything, but it is also celebration of present. It means that the beauty, the cultural beauty which in present they have imbibed, it is also being presented there. One of the biggest annual rock fests of the country is also hosted in Kohima during the Hornbill Festival. So present times, this rock climbing and all, it's very famous. So in this Hornbill Festival in Kohima, this rock fest is also organized. The Hornbill National Rock Contest and Music Festival is arguably the most popular event on the calendar for the rock fraternity in India. Okay, so it is most important for the rock climbing people. Famous bands from all over the world participate in this fest. And in this fest, the famous rock bands, they all participate in this festival and showcase their music. Music lovers from all over the world visit this festival to experience the eclectic music of the Northeast. And all the music lovers, they make it a point to be a part of the Hornbill Festival, to enjoy, to relish the music of Northeast. The other great passions of the region is food, and during the festival, it is never a short of supply. So it is during this that not only celebrations, dance, music, rock climbing is done, but food is also a very important and integral part of the Naga tradition, which is being displayed during the Naga festival. Hornbill is a foodie's paradise. It means that Hornbill Festival is a foodie's paradise, means you'll find people, those who are very much fond of eating various cuisines and all, various dishes and all, they are also present there. One can try all kinds of Naga traditional food. Tourists are welcomed warmly on to the traditional huts of each tribe. And these tourists, they are welcomed at each, in each, to the each traditional huts of each tribe, and the elder people of that tribe welcomes them and offer them various delicacies, which is the speciality of that particular tribe. One cannot miss the Naga chili eating contest, and now there is a chili eating contest. The Naga King chili, also known as Bhut Jolokia. Now, chili eating competition, Naga King chili, which was also known as the Bhut Jolokia, has often been ranked the world's hottest chili. This is the hottest variety of chili. The organizers of the festival take great pleasure in making participants cry. Making participants cry doesn't mean that they will beat all the participants badly and they will cry. No, they are going to cry after eating chili. Okay, because they since it is the hottest, it is very spicy. This chili is very spicy, so tears are going to be out. Brave participants queue up to eat as many as they can, often weeping as they try to outperform others. So these brave, obviously eating a spicy chili is not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, it's not an easy task. So here these participants are being associated with the adjective brave, that these are very brave people who participate in the chili eating competition, and some of them make so much huge cries, which is actually a show off. It appears show off, or they try to frighten their other people that it's very spicy, they are feeling very spicy. So it just to show their feelings, or to overshow their feelings, their cry, they overcry. The meat eating competition is another popular event. So now they also organize a meat eating competition. Meat being the major part of the Northeastern cuisine. So meat is a very important dish of Northeast. All possible meat dishes are on offer for tourists to relish. And all possible meat preparations are there for the tourists to eat on. Roasted, dried, and smoked meat are available and prepared in the traditional Naga style. So roasted, dried, and smoked meats all are there in traditional Naga style. Naga cuisine is also incomplete without the traditional rice beer, and food is incomplete without the traditional rice beer. Exploring the local cuisine and the indigenous way of cooking often gives insight into the lives of the local people. And children, it is the food. Okay, it is through food and their cooking style we come to know about their tradition. Okay, about their culture, about their living. If suppose I'll give you an example, if suppose you go to South India, what happens there? Everything is prepared with rice. They use rice to prepare each and everything. So what is the reason behind it? The reason is they use and in every dish preparation they use coconut milk, coconut oil, everything there. So you can find rice and coconut a very important aspect in their food. So what this shows? This shows that the people that in South India, the staple, the most important crop grown there is rice and coconut. So you can see that through food and through their style of cooking, through the style of using in different ingredients, we come to know the culture. Okay, the living culture, the living practice of these people, and also their socio-economic approach also. We come to know about it. Always a gastronomic delight, it's also a lesson in living culture, gastronomic style of cooking. In addition to all these attractions, Hornbill Motor Rally is another unique event which should be of interest to the adventure seekers. So now he's talking about the motor rally competitions and all. Okay, which is also a huge attraction for the adventure people. The rally covers 12 of the most picturesque locations in the state, and the path which this rally moves, it's the surrounding is very beautiful. Avid motorists or not, following the rally trail will allow one to witness the most awe-inspiring sights that the Naga countryside has to offer. And the biker who is biking or taking up the race, it's not possible for him to look at the beauty around. Okay, it's a person who is at the back who can see the beauty, the scenic pictures of beauty. One must also not miss out on the Kohima Night Bazaar. This busy stretch of town comes alive during the Hornbill Festival with food, music, and fun. The streets get overcrowded with various food and handicraft stalls. It's a great pleasure to walk amidst all the hustle and bustle of the bazaar. So now he's talking of the Kohima Night Bazaar. He says that this busy street or of the town comes to life, means there is a liveliness. Okay, life starts to throb. Okay, there is a kind of spark, and it is through this Hornbill Festival with food, the music and the fun and all the various type of handicraft stalls all are there. So it is really very pleasurable to walk through these hustle and bustle. Hustle and bustle is the crowded place. Okay, generally we don't like to walk through these crowded places. Okay, but during the festivals, it's never a problem. See, whenever you go to the Dashera Puja or anything like that festival, huge festival where you have melas and these carnivals sort of. So whatever may be the capacity of that rush, kitni bhi bheed ho, lekin you won't find yourself uncomfortable. You'll enjoy that crowd. You will enjoy that crowd, and you will enjoy each and every food. You will enjoy the toys there. You will enjoy to purchase things there. You'll enjoy it. Okay, so when festivals, crowd also don't disturb you. Apart from the events at Hornbill, a trip to Nagaland is incomplete without a trek in the majestic Duzuku Valley. So trekking is also a very important thing in the Duzuku Valley there. Located at the height of 2,438 meters above the sea level, it is about 25 kilometers from Kohima, a heaven for nature. It's too beautiful. That's why it has been adjectively called as heaven for nature. A heaven for nature enthusiasts. The valley provides panoramic views of rivers, mountains of the region. So you can see panoramic means beautiful view, a picturesque view of the rivers and mountains. When the multicolored rhododendrons are in full bloom, it is sight to cherish. So rhododendrons are these bushes with large red, purple color, pink color flowers. Okay, and when you see the sight of these, it is really very beautiful, and you cannot move your sight away from it. A visit to Kohima War Memorial is must for all history buffs. And apart from entertainment, it is entertainment, food, adventure, trekking. It is also museums an important part. Okay, an integral part to be visited there. Kohima was the location of one of the most crucial battles of the World War II. During World War II, it was a very important place. The Battle of Kohima was the turning point of the Japanese attack on India in 1944. The battle was fought from 4th April 22 to 22 June in 1944. The battle is often referred to as the Stalingrad of the East. A walk in the war memorial remind one of the sacrifices of the soldiers of the bygone year. And by visiting this this museum, we move towards the flashback. We get a flashback effect where we are able to see, or we are able to look into the lives of the soldiers of the bygone years, of the past. So it takes you to the flashback. A trip to the Hornbill Festival is a must for everyone who wants to see the magnificent beauty and cultural diversity of the Northeast. So the writer is saying that if one wants to take a look, a very beautiful look, a very deep look into the cultural diversity of Northeast. It is the Naga festival which gives us an opportunity. So with this, we come to an end of this chapter, the Hornbill Festival, which talks about Naga life, dance, culture, their architecture, about Hornbill bird, on which they have renamed their cultural fest. The seven, we talked about Seven Sisters and the cultural beauty of the Naga festival dances and the bamboo handicraft, for which Northeast is very famous. Okay. Thank you, children.